lot of new technologies like robotics, like artificial intelligence, or like driverless cars, for instance, would end up hurting employment opportunities, would end up driving a lot of low-wage, low-skilled workers, and that's a big issue for a country like India, which has a lot of workers like that. So how do you manage this balance? That's very important. You don't want to drive away new technology, but at the same time, you really don't want to have a mass unemployment situation in the country. Ronnie, you'd like to take a stab at it first?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that worries me about artificial intelligence outside of job displacement is really actually the impact. I think there's a fair amount. We've started with AI with a lot of negative connotations. And I think if you just look at fake news, for example, the impact that it has made on minds and the goodwill that it's generating in itself is a question mark. So I think AI is a very positive element to what we want to do. Of course, there'll be job replacements. And in countries like India, the challenge will be bigger. But we have other socioeconomic reasons to go for. The manufacturing base, everything else can expand.
Right.
So I don't think we've got a choice, firstly. But I think the concern for me more even than job replacement is the negative connotations and the power. So you talked about politics and the destructive or disruptive power of that. Yeah. But I think AI has got an even bigger power of being able to send perceptions, influence minds of billions, right, without even actually creating them.
Right. So that's a big point, and that's actually probably a true point as well, given the kind of impact that it can have. Neeraj, your perspective on this?
So, firstly, for every job gets displaced, many more get created, I would say. So, like you take warfare. I mean, I'm just taking a strange example. For a drone that flies, which was flown by a human pilot, there are many people which manage the drone outside, right? I mean, so there is a collateral, but there is one issue here, I think, which is genuine. There will be a shortage of high-end skills, and there may be an excess of low-end skills. So there is a skill imbalance which may get created, and hence learning on a continuous basis will become a very important imperative. That, I think, is critical. I don't think there'll be shortage of jobs, but there'll be mix of jobs will change very fundamentally.
Right, but reskilling, relearning, the success around the world, not very good, isn't it?
Historically, it's not been good, but I think I'm a big believer again that there is now new ways of that. People will at least do 4 jobs in a life, if not more. I would say, that job for, one job for the whole career is probably gone. I think those times are probably...
No, of course. Mr. Munjal, your views on this, sir. I mean, how do you look at, as a country like India, for instance, how do we ensure this balance?
So one is unemployment, and second is unemployability. I think that's what we're talking about right now. The system that we currently deploy for education, training, and skills certainly needs to undergo some change. And you said it's not been done well. Actually, it has been done well in some countries. Korea has done it well.
Right.
At one point, Japan did it. The US did it. The UK did it. So there are clear examples. Germany did it. There are many countries in which it has been done quite successfully. And India is now being pushed to the point that you almost have no choice. So the sector skill council that got set up, actually some of them are amazingly successful. I don't know how many people have noticed what's going on, but you're already training millions of people with new skills in India that have never been done before.
Right.
The question is twofold. One is, what do you get paid? It's not just about getting a job. It's about getting enough compensation to live comfortably for the individual and the family that he or she supports. And the second is, this was the earlier conversation which Sherry Blair was having earlier, is creating a better gender balance. The smarter half of the population is currently not engaged fully in the economic activity. And by the way, that is the much smarter half of the population.
Right. So you're saying as a country we should embrace artificial intelligence and embrace the new technologies that come?
Absolutely. There are 2 aspects to it. One is it is going to take away some jobs. That's for sure. Second, it's also a tool to use for this very same reason and purpose of training, education, skills. Because today our problem is 2. One is reach. Second is quality. You can actually fix both significantly with the use of good technology.
Right. Okay. And one person who can really talk on technology is Suneeta, who's, the new technology that's come in hospitals now. That would have affected employment, and that would have also affected the employability of certain people. So what are the learnings that can really come from the healthcare industry?
I don't think that technology has affected jobs in healthcare because of the acute shortage of nurses and doctors, not only in India and the rest of the world. In fact, we have 40% of the good doctors in America are from India. So clearly, I don't think that it'll be a big disruption for jobs. What I would like to add, going back to our earlier point about aging population, is if you look at the demographics, population growth is slowing. So there's really not going to be that much unemployment that we're looking at. There'll be more people needing to look after the older people. So I don't think, it's going to make such a big impact. What I would like to talk about in technology is that we are creating a universe which is a mirror universe, and I think Yale University described it really well. So using data, we're creating a mirror universe and we have a deeper understanding of the human being, where we're able to do a risk scoring on his healthcare profile and what he will need and what will be the clinical outcomes. And I think that this predictive healthcare, not artificial intelligence, but human intelligence, is going to result in better outcomes for everyone.